Friday night, I want a Chippy Tea. Chippy Tea, Chippy Tea, I want a Chippy Tea. Or you can give me posh, no, she don't agree with me. I don't want lobster thermidor with raspberry coulis. It's Friday night, I'm within me rights, I want a Chippy Tea.
My stool's broke. So every time I sit on it, if I get myself in perfect position, within about 5 minutes it's gone. So I'm just stood up. Give up.
How come you've gone back upstairs anyway?
Because every time I go downstairs, the episode ends up with like noise problems or the video looks shit. And I don't know why, I think it's just cursed. Every time I unplug everything and take it down, I plug it all back in and it seems to be all
And everything's reset. Yeah.
And I literally just got finished, so I thought just chuck the microphone in and just do it here because I know it'll work all right for now.
Nice and easy, yeah.
Mm.
Right, let's kick off. Hold on tight. Here we go for episode 82 of the Chippy Tea podcast. The Chippy Tea podcast is your chance to eavesdrop, listen in, watch us, and basically be a voyeur as me and Danny have a catch up on what we've been doing, the week or two before we last spoke. So, it's your chance to catch up with me, Tony P at Palm Print, and
Danny D for Sweet Print Co. What a bloody lovely feeling it is to be back.
Feels good now, yeah, that feels good. So, I'm back in good old Blighty, in the nice safe haven of the UK that it is. And,
but you couldn't wait to get back when you saw it all kicking off, could you?
You'd be surprised at how we're perceived overseas. You'd be really surprised.
That would shock me. I mean,
honestly, it's very.
We don't help ourselves, do we?
I've got people calling me from different countries asking if I'm all right, if I'm safe.
Was that you? Was that you I just saw?
Yeah, are you safe? Yeah, are you safe? Were you robbing Lush? Got some cheap bath bombs for sale.
It used to be cheap fags, isn't it, that you bring abroad? Now we just go and knit pegs.
So, we'll throw it straight over to you, Daniel. I take it it's been warm while I've been away, so tell me what it's been like working in 155 degrees.
Oh, it's a bit tepid. A bit tepid in here.
A bit tepid.
I'm losing weight, I think, so I'm all right with it. But...
Well, that's good. I'll come and work with you.
Yeah.
Because whatever you've lost, I've found, trust me.
It's a bit warm, but it's all right. I think last time we spoke, I was saying I'm in danger of having a really chilled out week. And I might go sit in the sun or go fishing or something.
Yeah.
That fell well out at window. Big style. Christ, on a bike I've been busy. So busy.
That's good, isn't it?
It's the opposite of what we keep hearing. I know the industry as a whole seem to feel like it's actually a little bit slow. And I feel a bit guilty because I've really had the opposite. I've had the opposite year.
Don't worry.
Well, this is my thing. I'm terrified of that. I'm scared about it.
I mean, that guilt feeling, that'll pass.
Oh, the guilt feeling? Well, yeah. I'm not really that guilty about it. But, yeah, I'm scared that this is just a blip, like just a peak, a coincidental peak, and it's not a new benchmark, But, yeah, I've been so busy. But I'm really happy that things are coming through the door now that more bulk based, to be honest. They're not so much the 20s and 50s, 5 or 6 colours that actually I really love. I love because those are the ones that go on Instagram. But really, they don't make me any money. They take me forever to do and set up, and I just think business-wise, it's just not very sensible, is it? But now I'm getting single colour jobs, a couple of colour jobs. So they're coming in boxes of hundreds, and it's stand at the press for a couple of hours. And then a few boxes are leaving shop, and those are what's making me money, to be honest. And
well, yeah, that was my next sort of point to make was: so, could you have done these before you got an auto?
No. Well, yeah, I could have done them, but I'd have spent absolutely days and days. When those orders came in, put it this way, I had problems with my ankles. I were I had elbow problems and wrist problems. I was absolutely exhausted. I'd have been making mistakes. I'd have been printing things upside down. I'd have been emailing people the wrong prices. I'd have been stressed up to eyeballs with it. So, yeah, those orders came in every now and again over the past, and I made it work. But it absolutely destroyed me trying it. It's such a breeze. 500 t-shirts, front and back, single colour. Do it with my eyes closed. What a dream. Fantastic.
Nice, yeah. And have you got Annie on the end of the dryer catching for you?
Yeah, she has been. It's a bit.
So you must have noticed the difference there on a 500 run.
This is my major problem right now. My major problem is my dryer's not quick enough, and also I need someone catching shirts. Today's probably been the most productive day I've ever had. I lined up my jobs.
Yeah, excuse me,
one after
I came for a day.
Yeah, well, that's all right. But on my own, most productive day I've ever had by myself. I got my trolley out, and I thought, right, let's think it through. I put my jobs in order, and it was just a white day today. But I've blasted out 10 different jobs, and some of them had front and back in a day, various quantities, and there were no changing of squeegee blades. It was just shirts on, off, swap the screen out, chuck the screen at Annie to do a thing, and I just got printing. There were no stacking. The shirts were falling into a box, wheeling it away, putting another box underneath, wheeling it away. So the downside to that is at the end of the day, we've had to sort through all the stock. But as far as printing goes, I've just gone boom, 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 non-stop.
That's good.
Monday, DPD is going to be fuming with me because there's a wall of boxes ready to go. So
that's good, because each one of those boxes is pound notes.
Yeah, definitely. This is where you've got to think. So what I've been doing, actually, this is a new addition. I've added a little timer to Monday. So I'm timing how long they're taking to print. And then
you're opening the job, you're running it, and then you're closing the job and looking at the timing there.
So I know how long it's taking to print each job. And I'm trying to build up an image of... At some point, I'll convert that into an approximate table. Don't ask me where the idea come from. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say, that sounds like a very familiar idea. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how far off your estimates are.
I imagine, yeah. I mean, the goal is to turn it into a table where I've got at least an approximate one colour, 50 shirts takes this long, 2 colour, 6 colour, and just have like a little table overview. And then I can
you can ask yourself, how much do you want to earn an hour? You know, it's a strange question, but, you know, how much do you want to earn an hour? You go work at Aldi, you'll probably get 15 quid an hour. Now, if you do your maths right, if you do your maths now and you work out that, hang on, I opened the job at this time, I closed it at this time, it was 100 pieces, 1 colour, I charged X amount of pounds for it, that means I only earned £6 an hour. Hang on.
Yeah. Well,
what am I doing?
On Monday, sort of the timer, next to the timer is a per hour. So it takes the invoice total, it divides it by the time, and it says, right, well, you've made this much. This job has actually cost...
How does Monday cost you?
Monday cost me about 50 quid. I've got the second tier up. I think it's actually 60 quid now. Yeah, it's gone up a bit. It is pricey to me.
So it's only like Adobe.
Adobe?
Adobe, you have to pay for Adobe if you're not on Corel.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just a subscription, just to like Adobe is. It's a subscription. I think the cheaper tier is like 20 to 30 quid. I've got the second tier up because I like formulas. So the basic level of Monday, you can have all your tables and everything, but you can't have any formulas. So for me, I have a table that's got all my profit and loss. So it's got my garment costs, it's got me set up, my artwork costs, it's got me postage costs and the invoice, and it calculates it and says at the end of it, you've made this much profit. Without being on the second tier, you can't do that. So that's why I don't mind paying that little bit extra. It's worth every penny, really.
Well, it does feed into the Images magazine article that I did with basically breaking everything down into a run rate, number of pieces divided by a run rate times by number of colours plus 10 minutes should predict how long a job will take. And a lot of people are surprised when I say, you know, that 1 colour job, 25 pieces, is going to take you 20 minutes. They go, nah, I can do it in 3 minutes. Yeah, what about the time it took you to find the squeegees, tape the screen out, put it in, spray the boards, do a preheat, take a strike off, get it approved, all that time. But people forget we're not getting paid for that. So we need to be as quick as possible with that one.
Yeah, I don't know whether to break it down so that I'm recording setup times individually. Or do you just go, right, well, I'm working on this job now, press go?
For you, I do press time.
Yeah, well, that's how I'm doing it now. Basically,
for you, that's the best thing you can do because you haven't got a team you can sort of go whip around and try and increase an area. You've got press time, so you can predict. You can look back and forecast how much press time to allocate for a job. Imagine you get a year's worth of data. Once you've got this year's worth of data, then you can take it and go, do you know what? This guy wants to know how long it's going to take me to do 300 shirts. And if they're coming on Monday, can I do them for Thursday with everything else I've got? And that's when you'll be able to see. No, fucking wait a week.
Yeah, I think
charge a premium.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's what we're charging premium for rush orders. It's just
nothing at all, no.
No. So yeah, hopefully that bit of data gathering will be quite useful. There is something that's been considered about getting another person in to help me, who would be doing the catching shirts, loading shirts, sorting stock out, etc., etc. Because there were a couple of times. Well, it wouldn't be my mum, but it would be somebody else in the family. I won't say, just in case she gets in trouble. But yeah, it'd be a scary move. But a lot of years ago, when I set up Flipping Sweet Oil in a really shitty job and borderline, the manager was trying to bully me, and they didn't bully me because I didn't let them bully me. So I told them to shove the job up their ass, and I stormed out. If you remember, and I made what I consider the brave decision to say, Sunday, so I'm not going to work for anybody ever again. I'm going to go do my own thing, and no matter how hard it is, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes me to get there, I'll turn it into a successful business. And I feel like I'm probably getting somewhere close to that. And I know somebody else is in a shitty situation like that, and I'm just wondering if maybe now would be sort of written in the stars to make that same bold decision and see if it takes this to the next level. So, something to think about, and possibly we'll see. So, if you see someone in the background with pink hair in a couple of weeks,
it's all down to numbers at the end of the day. It's all down to monetary numbers. At some point, you got to take a gamble. At some point, you got to be brave. If you don't do that, you're just going to stay exactly where you are. There's an old saying: if things don't alter, they'll stop as they are. It makes perfect sense. Actually, if you don't change something, you're going to be in exactly the same place as you are yesterday. But if you take a gamble, you might be 2 steps back, but at least you're in a different place.
Yeah, you've got. Yeah, I think I'd sooner die trying than not bother at all. I've said that in passing, I probably meant it, but
I nearly died trying.
Nearly did try trying, yeah. That 5,000 piece tote bag order, 3 colours on a manual. We got pretty close to proving that point, right?
You've got to do it, mate. You can't stand still for long, honestly.
No.
That's one of the things that I see, all the time when we're travelling. Because I look at these people and they're, I've got pants older than these people, and they're progressing because they took a decision 3 years ago, and then they're going to take another big one now. And I'm like, it's only been 3 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes we, especially as English, we like to play safe. And
definitely.
Okay, it's not broke. Don't fix it. Just keep it going. Just compass, status quo. Just keep it going.
There's a mentality difference where decisions and risks and bold moves, it's like one after the other over there, and it doesn't take.
It does seem to be
12 years like it has done me.
No, they get there very quickly.
Yeah, different attitudes. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that. Watch this space.
You touched on whether you're quiet or not, and when you said you were you were busy. And you also said, unlike the rest of the industry. So I did a poll on Instagram as to whether anybody was busy or quiet. And it went 60-40. It went 60% are quiet, 40% are busy. And it started off as 70-30 busy.
All right. And then it shifted.
I think that was bravado.
Is it a demographic?
Yeah. I think it's basically bravado. And the first people who said, I'm not even going to think about it, I'm busy. The more people thought about it, they went, do you know what, actually, it's a bit quieter. That's the feeling I get everywhere I go, that the industry's quiet. There's a certain part of the industry in England, in Leicester, that's very quiet.
Mm.
In my humble opinion, it's inevitable. It was always going to happen. This is we are seeing in Leicester, which is, don't forget, Leicester, 160 to 180 printing machines in a town the size of like Bradford.
I've been to Leicester. It's not a massive city. I mean, it's not big. It's a city, but it's not.
It's a city. It ain't huge.
Manchester.
No, I don't think it's as big as Leeds.
Mm.
And
I thought so.
And you know, there's if you throw a stone in Leicester, you hit a screen printer, basically.
Sounds like a new Olympic sport.
Where things have been going around here, I think it is. So we weren't gonna go down that road.
Basketball tossing.
I'll drag it back. For at least 10 to 15 years, that area of fast fashion, that area of rapid turnaround, test and react printing, has been. I can't generalise everybody, but it's been mainly who can print the cheapest. And that can only ever result in one thing. And I say it quite often that if the guys in Leicester had all got together and formed a cartel and said, look, everybody, nobody print below £1. End of story.
We've had this idea before, haven't we?
Never break the pound barrier. And then, you know, they'd all be getting good money for what they do. But as usual, in human nature, as you're walking out of that meeting where everybody agrees to never print for less than £1, somebody's on the phone. I'll do it for 95.
Yeah.
And then the race starts again all the way to the bottom, and I'm getting people for printing for less than 20p, and you're like, it's not sustainable now when you've got to pay people these wages. What's the minimum wage? 14 quid an hour?
I don't know, I guess so.
Somewhere between 12 and 14 quid an hour and you need 3 of those people on press. It's not sustainable.
It's madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder, so that's a sector, isn't it? That's a demographic of a sector.
That's a definite sector. There's
probably
another sector.
A large portion of screen printing, though, if we're honest. That's why probably take up a larger portion than other sectors.
There's a definite sector in the UK of music merch.
Yeah.
Now, that sector is growing.
Is it? Oh, right.
That sector is getting more, a lot more people doing music merch.
I've had more merch this year.
Workwear is still strong.
Is workwear ever going to go? Everybody needs workwear, surely.
Yeah, workwear is strong. Promo, large company promo, so blue chip promos, not area house building out road. That's workwear.
Blue chip promos. What do you mean by blue chip?
Blue chip, so Shell, Marks and Spencers, Rolls Royce, Michelin, places like that. You know, big corporate companies. When they want workwear, it's done through an agency and it's done at a corporate level. So that's
almost like a bid. You almost bid for the contract,
like a tender, yeah.
It's like working for a council. You can't. You don't just
give it to your mate down the road.
No.
Well, that area is, I think, suffering a little bit from the Europe thing. If you are a multinational like Shell, for instance, you know, you've got places all over and you want to do your European workwear in one place.
Yeah.
Whereas before you might have picked England because it's high quality and it's got good road links and they can distribute from a central place. Now you're going to look at it and go, do you know what? It's much easier to do it in Germany. Treat England as a little separate place on its own that has to have special measures. We're in Remy class.
Oh, honestly, we are.
We're in Remy class at back in Porter cabin.
I've had bands, more than one, a couple of bands not come to me for merchandise this year because we're touring around Europe. So they've got it made in Europe this time. So instead of having me do it and then they send it to themselves, they've just got it done there because it's cheaper and less hassle. Which is
it's
annoying.
the customs. It's not the cheapness, it's the customs.
Well, do you know, I had an episode last week, or a couple of weeks ago, where I sent a box of stock to France. They held it in customs for like 3 or 4 weeks. They held it there. No real reason. All the paperwork were perfectly fine because it got there eventually. They just decided to sit on it for like 3 weeks.
That's because the French. Nobody likes them.
French customs, bastards. If there's any French listeners,
there's no French listeners. Trust me. There are no French listeners. Trust me. There might be some French-speaking listeners, but there are no French listeners.
The French probably listened to the first episode and then give up. See what I did there?
So, I think the industry is suffering right now. I describe it as we're in a cycle, and right now we're at the bottom of this cycle.
Everything in life is cyclical, isn't it, really?
I think we need, I know this sounds harsh, but occasionally we do need a cull, an economic cull of the fly-by-night people that, are just there to skimming the cream off the top and don't give anything back to the industry, don't pay a fair wage, don't do good work. And they're the ones, hopefully, that feel the heat first.
Get left behind, yeah.
Yeah. So the strong companies that I work with, the strong companies are not worried at all by the state of the economy, the state of the industry. They know that they've got a good enough foundation to weather any storm. It's the ones that are weak, the fly-by-nights, that are like, this could be the end of us here.
Yeah, maybe if you put it in that aspect, maybe it's a good thing, really.
I think so, yeah. And that sounds awful because I've got some friends that are on that cusp of like, I don't know if I'm going to be here next year or not.
Oh, shit, Christ. What a strange thing that the industry, the larger portion of the industry are feeling it. Whereas I'm like... So I do wonder, maybe the smaller shops, the independents... I mean, it's difficult for me because I'm on a trajectory anyway. My business is growing. So how much of the growth is... maybe it's held back by the fact that things are a little bit quieter. And if that's the case, well, happier still, because maybe when things pick up a bit, I'll have better years.
To the moon, yeah, definitely.
Getting places, going places.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing.
Shall we touch on a little bit how your end of your trip went? Can't remember where you were.
Was I in the big place with the 12 machines, or had I left there?
I think we'd sort of touched on that last time. You was in there at the time. Try and remind me, what was you there for? Was it to train new people or set up? No, I think we swap machines or something.
How long have you got? This is a big task. This one's a big task. They changed brand from M&R to MHM, which is fine, but that's been happening 6 months now. So they're well used to the MHMs. But with the faster setup, so I have setup time with the screens, despite your run rates and all that crap, but I have the setup time at 10 minutes. And I think that's fair. In fact, I like 15, if I'm completely honest, if everything's manual and there's no machinery helping me, like auto cleaners or squeegee cleaners or small boys with a scrubbing brush, whatever it is you use to clean with, then I like 15 minutes. But this place has got automatic everything. So they're down at 4 minutes a screen for a setup.
That's beautiful.
So that's total time spent on a job is the number of colours times 4 minutes.
All right, let me think about that.
So 6 colour job.
Yeah. So is
24
that above
minutes.
What you would call reasonable?
24 minutes, and then the print is usually below 50 pieces, which is usually below 3 to 4 minutes.
Oh, so they're doing like short runs then.
So
there's no point cutting. There's no point trying to save time on print. It's all
about
what can
that
you scrape out a setup.
Yeah. So this led me on to I actually walked down. Really strangely, they're data driven. So on each pod there is a whiteboard at the end of each pod. Pod is 3 pressers and 1 dryer.
Right.
And there are the day's numbers for that pod. So the total number of pieces, the total number of jobs, the total number of colours in each job, and the total number of pieces in each job. So those 4 bits of information are displayed fully. And there is a target. Now I'm not gonna say exactly their numbers, but I'm going to use numbers that are easy to work out in my head.
Right.
So let's say the target is 2,000 pieces.
Right.
As I'm walking down, I'm seeing 1,000, 1,200, 1,100, 1,300. So then obviously the manager, the operations director, comes to me and says, "Why? Why? Why is that one only 1,000? It should be 2,000. Why is that one only 1,100? Why are these people not working hard?" And all we do is we go down the list, because one at the end is 2,000. One at the end hits the target.
Right.
And so the manager, who hasn't got a print background, rightly comes to me and says, "Why does that team work harder than that team?" And I have to explain, well, actually, that team over there are working their nuts off.
Oh, yeah,
Because if we look at the numbers, their average number of pieces per job is below 24.
Right.
And the average number of colours is above 4.
Yeah, so they're doing all the small.
So they're doing lots and lots of work, but the numbers are not there. Whereas the ones that did 2,000, they've had a Danny day. Now, a Danny day
been running single colour jobs all day.
Save all your white flash white jobs. Get your Aquaflex V2 in, Magna Colours plug. Get your Aquaflex V2 in. Sort all your ASColour t-shirts out. Another plug.
ASColour hat, ASColour tank top.
There you go, look, you see? True to form. Stick it on your MHM machine.
Oh shit, that's downstairs. Can't show you that, but it's there. I've not lost it.
Contractually fulfilled now. So once you throw it all onto your press.
What you clean it with? And where did you buy it?
Well, the rubber came from Illuminati. So I've lost it now. Where I am now.
Right, well, that's it. Contracts are done now. We're good. We can talk whatever we want now.
So the number of pieces, when it falls that low, it affects the final number. So we walked along and we looked at, well, the 2001, right? The average number of pieces, so that's total pieces divided by number of jobs. That is 65. Okay. So the next one down, that's only done 1,400 pieces, their average number of pieces is 42. So what I'm saying is, when the number drops below 50, it costs you about 500 prints a day.
Flipping out.
So unless you're not pricing for that, that's where you're losing your money. If you're pricing everything the same, and you're selling a 6-colour job the same as a 2-colour job because you think it's easier, then you can see that the number of available pieces for you to possibly do that day is now 1,400.
Yeah.
Whereas if you price everything at single colour rate, if you do everything at single colour, the number of possible pieces that you can do is up in the 3,000s.
Surely places are not doing that, though. Surely places are not.
I understand how big these places are. It's 250,000 square feet.
So is this a competitive thing? Is this a competitive attitude where they're like, we're just going to price everything at a simple flat rate so that we can be competitive with others? And
it's a sales gimmick, a sales technique.
Yeah.
So imagine, right, okay, so you've got 12, 15 presses to keep busy, plus the embroidery, plus the DTF, plus the transfer, plus everything else. So you're selling a decorated product. Now, does the end user give a flying fuck how many colours are in it?
Not really. No.
They couldn't care. So to try and break down those colours is only relevant for screen print. So if I'm going to do it on my big, they've got 6 Cornick 400 grand machines ticking out shirts all day long. Right. Well, that's one price for all. I don't care if it's a single colour, a 10 colour, a 5 colour, a 3 colour,
a
256 million colour. Doesn't matter. Which is how many colours your eyes see. So a full colour photograph is exactly the same as a single colour print. So that's the easiest thing in the world to sell. I'm going to sell you a print on the front here. All right, I might even do it by area. That might be easier. I've got a small price list, a big price list, and a medium price list.
I think there's a lot of... If I throw myself back to the large format days, it would actually calculate how much ink it was going to use, and then you could times your figure by that.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure DTG has that.
The digital machines do that. So that makes it easy to sell.
Yeah.
You can take let's say you've got 15 of those machines plus everything else. Your sales team might be 30. Might be 30 people who come in off the street, and at any given time, some of them only been there 2 weeks. How do you educate them to count colours, to price whether it's a difficult job or an easy job, to put t-shirts and sweatshirts different, light shirts, dark shirts different, whether it's a sleeve, a front or a back of the hood, all these things that we automatically know as difficult because you print them. The girl on the other end of the telephone, they're just like, well, it's a picture on the front
more money,
or a picture on the back. Surely they're the same price, aren't they? So it becomes not lazy. Convenient way to price is, okay, let's presume that everything's 10 colour. Price it as that. And if it's less than that, we win.
I see what they've done now, because I got a little bit confused, but now you've explained it like that, now I know what they do. So, right, okay. Worst case scenario is going to cost us this much, so as prices are this much, and everything is that. It's a flat fee, and it avoids any confusion. Because it is a thing that getting your pricing across to customers can be a very confusing thing for customers. And it is, I try to simplify it myself, even though...
copying someone else's.
No, dick. No, you dick. What I mean is...
that wasn't you, was it? That was someone else we know.
That was someone who copied me. Multiple, I might add. Because I made a mistake years ago, putting my price list on my website. Nobody does that now, do they? I could tell you I know why people copy it. But anyway, and undercut you. But anyway, that's another story. So I try to simplify it to my customers now. I try to make it as... I give them a flat, it's this much per t-shirt, end of story. I don't say, well, you're paying this much for your screen setup, you're paying this much per colour, your garments are this much, and I've stuck 10% on, etc.
£10 a shirt. Yeah, end of story. Yeah,
and not only do I do that, my spreadsheet, as complicated as a matrix and all the variables are, I get a figure at the end, and if it's £7.96, I round it to the nearest 10p, so it's £7.
Nearest £10.
To the nearest £10, yeah. So if it's a £5 a shirt, I get a tenner. No, but you know what I mean. I don't do 3p or 5p. No. Now in other shops, bigger shops, they might be thinking you're an idiot, because that could be a big cost for you. But when you're doing 50s and 100s, whatever, it's not.
I keep going back to this same comment that I feel like I've said on here, but I probably haven't, because I say it to so many other people. So forgive me if I'm repeating it, but the whole process of reproducing designs on a circular automatic machine was designed to do large numbers. It wasn't designed to do small numbers. Neither the process of artwork, the process of screens, and the process of the machine, none of it was designed to do small numbers. It was all designed to do a minimum 3,000 pieces a day.
Have I gone black?
It just went dark, yeah.
What's going on?
What happened? Why did you go dark?
I don't know. So I told you about this camera.
Oh, you've come back now.
I'm sick of it.
You're back now.
Flipping hell, I turned into Facebook logo icon. Default profile picture. Just a silhouette.
I thought you were going to say, yes, Your Honour, he touched me there where you point to the doll.
God.
Yeah, so when we try and do 50 pieces 6 colour, absolutely we can do it. We can do it all day long, not a problem with it. Can we make money at it? So that becomes not a production problem, a sales problem. And one of the things I throw to the salespeople, or at least the people driving the production, is if you were getting $10, £10 every time that squeegee moved, would it be a problem? Absolutely not. No, we'd sell 50s, we'd sell 10s, we'd sell 5s. But because you're only getting 50 cents, 50p, 50 shenkels, whatever it is that you're working with, then it's a problem. So it's not really about how fast or how efficient the press is. It's, do you value your product enough?
What do you say to people who say, yeah, I know what you're saying, Tony. We're selling time, not T-shirts. But take a shot. But if I put my prices up anymore, nobody's going to use me. Everybody's going to go to print.
I'll lose my customers. I'll lose my customer. It's the one thing that I get told. People won't pay that. I'll lose my customer. People won't pay that. What did I send you a message last night? Sat in the bar. I'm sat in the pub.
What? Oh my God.
I'm sat in the pub, right?
Where did he nick that? That's what I want to know.
Sat in a pub, and a guy's got this shirt on now. I see printed T-shirts every day of my life. This shirt was so good, I almost wanted to take a picture of it. I wanted to touch it. And I'm like,
cool.
Well, that's weird. That's weird. You've gone black again.
No, I'm trying to play it off cool and just pretend it's not happening.
It must be something to do with autofocus. Wave your hand in front of it. There you go. It works now. So,
remember when I tried to convince you to buy this camera?
Yeah.
Christ.
You should see what I'm using. It's an iPhone.
I think I might just swap it for an iPhone.
Crocodile
be
clip
less
to my laptop. It is. It's just crocodile clip to my laptop. That's all it is. So yeah, I'm sat having dinner in a pub last night, and this guy sat opposite me having a little birthday party, and he's got the shirt on, and I thought, God, that's good.
Yeah.
And the front logo said off.
Right.
I'm not a brand person. I've never heard of the brand off.
Yeah, right.
Off and off in a circle.
Mm.
But over it was a piece of brown tape. And I thought, this guy must have come from work, and he's forgot
got a bit of tape on, yeah.
Bit of packing tape still stuck to over his logo.
Yeah.
All right. And I thought, should I tell him? And then he turned round, and on the back was the Arrows logo.
Cross, yeah.
You know the Arrows logo? Was it Echo that did that? I can't remember. The Arrows logo in brown tape. I thought, well, his mates have pulled the right prank on him there. That's like having a kick me. And where the off branding was, they've been covered up with brown tape, like you used to see on BBC to stop them advertising.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they've put that in a perfect pattern, in a perfect representation of the old logo with the arrows in each corner, the X with the arrows in each corner.
Yeah.
And I looked closer, and it's not brown tape; it's a print, and it's a 3D print, so a high build that's made to look like crisscrossing white painter's tape. So I'm like, well, that looks awesome. So straight away, I did what any normal people did. I didn't touch him because he would have just
went to stroke his back,
smacked me straight in the mouth. I googled it. Okay, off. Never heard of that. Tape, arrows, T-shirt. First result that comes up, black T-shirt, exactly the same as what he's got on. 5. Go on, show me it.
So that's the T-shirt.
Yeah, that's the T-shirt.
I don't know. Is it going to focus on it? It looks like it's bright white, but basically that's the tape as you described.
It's yellow tape, yeah.
It's crazy. It just looks like masking tape.
Looks like masking tape. And it's overlaid in 3D, so it's done with capillary film, with clear tape, just like Rick Roth at Mirror Image has done for years with Polaroids and tape.
You ready for this?
And it's so real, you want to scratch it off.
Buy now.
£584 for a black T-shirt.
Now, this was in Arsender Wakefield. You tell me he's not nicked that. You telling me?
He could have done, yeah. Well, I tell you what, if he printed it, hats off to him, because it looks superb.
Well done.
When was the last time a T-shirt stopped you in your tracks, out in the wild?
They don't.
They don't, do they? Because you see them so often.
I mean...
I'm sort of like having a T, I'm like...
For you to...
Yeah, you're looking at
a lot.
So I'm like, I'm looking at that guy over there. You weirdo. No, I'm just looking at his T-shirt. Really weird. And I'm staring. She's like, you're staring at him. I know. Yeah.
Can't help it.
I'm just looking at his shirt.
Look at that eye build.
And wait while he turns round. And he turned round. I'm like, look at it now. Look at it. It looks real.
I'd love to see that. Love to see it. I'd love to just touch it and stuff. I mean, hopefully you can take it off and let me have a feel of it, because that's madness. I want to see it.
Now, when you do that in the pub, it's weird.
Well, yeah, but It's important, isn't it? Important that we...
It were important to me, yeah.
With context...
I practiced in my head. Excuse me, I'm a T-shirt printer. You mind if I look at it? And the more I practiced it in my head, the more I thought, no, that's just weird, Tony.
The more you came back with your bloody nose when you sat down.
You're going to get punched in the face, yeah.
You sit down and Shell just goes, you deserve it, actually, I told you.
And now sit down and eat your steak. So the point I was trying to make was, people won't pay that. People won't pay that.
People
won't pay that. Now, if I said, people will pay that. You remember the Victoria Beckham one? No. Victoria Beckham, white T-shirt, black text, 200 quid.
Oh, madness.
£200.
I walked around, what do we call it? Harrods. Is it Harrods?
Mm-hmm.
In London? I walked around Harrods in London and I nearly threw up in my mouth. I'm pretty sure we're looking at Gildan's kids' T-shirts. Like 200 or 300 quid.
Top bit where all designers are?
Probably, yeah. It's a long
there's like a designer place in each one.
But they were like kids' T-shirts, white with a bit of black print on for like hundreds. Kids' T-shirts with like a little single colour black print. But I can't remember what it was, but it was now tiny little chest badge or something. I'm like, how can anybody on this planet justify paying that much for a T-shirt that costs about £1.80 to print and produce? Full stop.
So
then
people
there's me
will pay.
Scraping off pennies every time I'm doing that chuffing work. You think?
So this is the point I'm trying to sort of make is it
Don't
goes
undervalue
back to
yourself.
Well, it's sell the sizzle, not the sausage. Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all printing T-shirts, but what do you give extra? What's your
This
extra?
is it.
Are you coming up with different designs? Are you constantly in contact with the customer? Are you offering new things? Are you always present on social media? All these little things around you mean that you actually can justify charging more money. Because you're not just another backstreet printer knocking shirts out with a bit of old wood and a flip-flop.
This is what it is. You've got to establish what differentiates you and what is your... Maybe it's a value that you hold or something that you're particularly good at, and capitalise on that and hold in on
sizzle.
it. And the sizzle.
Find your sizzle.
And I guess those who don't find the sizzle are the ones who
fall by the wayside.
Oh, fizzle out.
Oh, fizzle out. Oh, God.
That's it, I'm off.
Now your camera goes bright.
I don't think I can peek after that. That's it, done.
No, you've done, yeah.
Yeah, so find your sizzle.
There is... I was working with a printer, yeah. It's got solid lush out back of his moped. I was working for a printer and we were looking at water-based. And I said, he said, do I charge a premium for water-based? And I said, no, people won't pay it because they don't care.
You said that?
Yeah, I said, people don't care. I just want to print a T-shirt, but, you'd be hard-pressed to find a premium for it because you should be giving them their best quality anyway. Why are you suddenly now saying, do you want a better quality? Why weren't you giving that in the first place? So he went, screw you, Tony, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to double it. Whatever they want for normal is normal. If they want water-based, it's double. And I said, you can't do that. People won't pay it. Guess what?
I put my flipping life on it if it would. There's enough.
Every single one of them paid it, didn't question it, and loved it.
Of course.
See, I get mopeds, you get Stephen.
I was just about to make a dolphin joke, but Stephen stole the limelight.
I think he stole the punchline.
He did, yeah, he did.
He's laughing at you.
Oh, God, Stephen. Bless him. I do miss Stephen. But I didn't. I feel like there's quite a few classics. Steven Seagal and various others that have not made an appearance in a while. So
that bingo card's empty, isn't it?
It's a retro episode. This we'll call it retro.
Yeah.
Retro Chippy Tea.
Well, have you got up from Auntie Moira?
Oh shit! I've not heard from. Oh, did I read? Do you know why I went? I don't from Auntie Moira because I didn't read the last one. Let's have a look. So let me have a look across. I've not used my Chippy Tea notes document in a long time.
Auntie Moira.
I think we might have done.
Maybe they're going to Shanghai soon.
It can't be, Luke. Surely. It can't be. Can it?
Don't know.
Nah, the last one was with fluoro colours. Anti-Moira's gone AWOL, so we can't give you an anti-Moira.
It's because we've been ignoring her for a while.
Well, we did the last one, the fluorescent colours, etc.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell then, yeah, that was a positive visit. You helped establish that number of printed T-shirts is not a reliable metric for performance. And...
Well, no, the thing, what I was trying to do was push it back to sales. Stop putting pressure on your production, put your pressure on sales. Either don't do ones under 50, so put an MOQ in, put a minimum order quantity in, or make it worthwhile. Because what you're saying is you're losing money when you do small orders. And I'm sat in a boardroom with all these people high up. They're saying, look, what you're saying is you're losing money when you do small orders. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, Tony. Right, okay, but you're asking me to make the small orders more efficient. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. Well, no, what I'm saying to you is make the small...
Classic Chippy Tea. I guess I'm doing it on this now.
To be fair, usually it's me.
Yeah, honestly.
I normally touch something and it disappears.
We'll have to use this camera, I guess, now.
Yeah.
That's not ideal, is it?
It's
well, at
fine.
least I can sit down now.
If I don't put my glass on, it's fine.
Right. Carry on, sorry.
Right.
Ignore me, everybody.
Yeah, I can see you down there.
Hang on, I'm changing it now. Extend these displays. Right, so if I drag this over here, go like that.
We're at the pinnacle of our technical careers, aren't we?
I don't even care at this point. I'd normally be fuming about this, but...
Remember when we were scared to even go on camera?
Yeah, well, I thought about that. I thought, wouldn't it be a lot easier if we just went back to audio? I thought that the other day. Right, sorry. Right, I've really thrown this episode off, haven't I? What we're talking about, remind me.
So, I was saying that the pressure was on production to increase their efficiency, where really the pressure should be on sales to either install an MOQ, minimum order quantity, or increase the prices, put a financial reach on. Then, the smaller numbers with bigger counts take more money, take more time.
Yeah.
So what are we selling? We're selling time. So, if I say to you, right, you can have half an hour's press time, and in that half an hour's press time, I can either give you 300 white flash whites or 24 6-colour prints. Now, if you're saying it's the same price for both products, I'm not inefficient when I only give you 24 in that 30 minutes. You sold it badly by pricing them both the same.
Yeah, you sold it really badly. But
yeah,
if it takes the same amount of time, don't really matter, does it? If it takes the amount of time, you've priced it perfect, haven't you?
No, if you're only charging 50p a print, right? And you can invoice 350p's, or you can invoice 2450p's for the last half hour that's just passed. That's when it's bad practice.
So what my point is, the 25 6-colours should, if it takes half an hour on press, then it should be priced the same as 300.
Should be the price the same as... Yeah.
This is what you've got to try and...
That's the whole point of the calculation that I did for images. Was, look, work out what press time it takes, including putting the screens in and everything. And if it takes 30 minutes of press time, and you want £20 an hour from your press, then it costs £10 to produce those. Now, if you're dividing £10 by 24 pieces, or you're dividing £10 by 300 pieces, it's the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's where we should be at, but we're so obsessed with trying to print as cheaply as possible for the customer. And at the end of the day, the customer doesn't care. He wants printed T-shirts. My guy up in Canada, Caleb, he sticks a tenner on everything.
I know, I remember this story, and I thought, that's mind-blowing, and I just thought,
and I'm stood there saying, you can't do that, people won't pay it. And he stood
and
there
he
going,
shows you his orders.
I've just touched $1 million, and I only work 3 days a week. Screw you.
He's got it cracked.
Yeah, and he's only printing the same as everybody else has printed. His prints are superb quality. and his attention to detail is off the scale. But that's not the reason people pay that money. It's because that's the price of what he's selling. That's it. You could go get it cheaper somewhere else, absolutely.
Well,
but then you
won't
sell
it's
as
a
many.
package. It's what he offers. It's a sizzle that he offers.
Yeah.
It obviously compensates and makes it justifiable for a tenner t-shirt. I think. So what needs to change here? What needs to change in the industry? Because how do we get there? Because does it take a couple of big shops to just say, look, we're heading, this is a rat race. We're just undercutting each other, and does it take a bit of a conglomerate, a mafia, as you just said, a group of big printers who can universally agree?
The cartel, the printing cartel. I'd love to see it happen, but it won't happen. I think what will probably my prediction for the next 10 years would be some technology is going to come along that allows us to print small quantities, large colours efficiently. Now, that is what DTG promised to do, and it didn't quite deliver. Right. It wasn't efficient. You're looking at something that will deliver you upwards of 500 an hour. And then to get a machine that does that, well, the ones that are the same price as the pressers will do you 50 an hour.
All right.
And all of a sudden you can't quite make it work. And there's a separate process, and there's limitations on what you can print on. You can't print onto anything that you can with screen print. Feel and quality, you could argue about those two all day long. It's not about that. It's about the efficiency of it and the ease of operation. Now, as you go along the scale of DTG, and we get to there's a machine for sale at $1 million.
Wow.
Okay, and that takes a shirt off you and it spits it out in a bag with a barcode on.
Oh, wow. Flipping out. That's what you want.
Well, yeah, but how many? And that'll probably do 300 to 400 an hour. That's great, but, what about if you've got some sweatshirts to go with it? Or you want the same logo on the sleeve as you do the arm? There's so much messing around to do in between changing either position or design that it becomes inefficient. So until we nail that, and DTF is hanging there in the background saying, hey, what about me? Hey, what about me? And everybody says, I don't like the feel of you. Okay. Do you like the price? Yeah. Do you like the quality? Yeah. Do you like the ease of use? Yeah. Don't like the feel. Okay. Well, for now, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay for now. You wait while you nail the feel of that. Boom. We're only one technological step away from nailing the feel of DTF, and boom.
I've seen some alright DTF, to be honest. I've seen some alright.
The best tip I've seen is to press it again with a t-shirt after it's done.
Of a sheet of Hessian or what?
Canvas, sheet of canvas.
That's it.
Just pick a piece of canvas up like an old tote bag and press it again. You get that pattern on it.
Looks
Be clever with your artwork. I'm all for DTF. I've got no problem with DTF. And if we can automate the pressing of DTF, then imagine a machine.
Imagine a machine, right?
Yeah, imagine a machine where you stand at this end and you send your design to it. It prints out a sticker, DTF, and then places that DTF transfer where you want it to be, presses it again for texture, and it spots out the other side in a long linear line, not a circle. Forget the circle. The circles are from screen print days, but just a long linear line of, okay, at this end I want next t-shirt done. There was a Brother DTG had a machine with like maglev pallets, and so they would go in and get pre-treated, and then go and go here and there and everywhere, and they'd work along this linear line at different times because it needed 10-second pressing but 30 seconds heat pre-press.
Yeah.
And imagine that, but with a DTF print and application all in one go.
You've got to imagine it's going to come at some point because DTF
write that down. Print and application all in one go. August 2024. Tony Palmer thought of it
you
first.
You write that down, put it in your garage.
I put it in my garage next to me humidifier.
Yeah. I could do with them plans for that humidifier. I want to tweak mine. It'd be an interesting conversation, actually, an interesting mini-series. Hint. If we could speak to a few, I think we should need to speak to some figures from DTG, DTF, embroidery, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think we should get somebody in from DTF, an expert. Somebody from DTG. So. Who else?
I think we should get an embroiderer on.
Embroiderer?
I think so. Yeah. Well, I've got spoilers.
Dig deep for that one.
Spoilers, but we've got something in the works.
Yeah.
Focusing on other forms of print, new and old, not necessarily, what we do today, DTF, etc., but also looking back at some old forms of print and
garment decoration.
Maybe garment decoration. That's a way to word it. So it'd be nice to also tag that along with some designated mini episodes, chatting to some experts in those fields, because I ain't got a clue about half of them. Apart from neat pressing caps. If we do an episode on neat pressing caps,
you might be the main vein.
Might be. Like it.
I think it's awesome, mate. I really love them. I was playing this week with some embossing plates, which use a very similar sort of process to that.
Embossing garments?
Yeah.
I've seen where so you buy like a sweatshirt and it looks like it's got, well, it's embossed. It's embossed, isn't it?
Embossed, yeah. So I started doing that 4 years ago, 6 years ago. I keep forgetting how old I am. 6 years ago.
26 years ago.
Down at Luton, at the place I used to work down there, which coincidentally, that's where I've been this week. I spent 3 days down there helping them with refreshing training techniques and obviously staff changes. And
that's nice that you're still welcome.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place. It really is. And when I walk in, it takes me 20 minutes to do anything because everybody's like, "Hey, Tony, hey, Tony, hey, Tony." So it's a superb place to go back to. And yeah, you're right. It is nice to still be welcome back to a place to still feel quite welcome and at home. It's nice down there. So big shout out to Essential Embroidery.
I'm not welcome at my last job.
I'm not welcome at yours.
You're welcome anytime.
I don't think I've ever left a place under a cloud. I don't think.
No.
I've been chased out.
Can't imagine.
Never left. I'm sure there is one I don't talk about at all. So we'll move on from that one.
Moving on.
Selling Kirby vacuum cleaners.
You'll have to remind me of that one after episode. Right, so that wraps up your American trip then, does it? Was that your last shop and then you was on a jet plane?
No, I went to South Dakota first, which was the home of my ultramarathon.
Oh, of course it was. That brought a bit of PTSD back, didn't it?
Yeah, I cried.
Did you actually? Oh, bless.
I did, yeah.
God, I almost forgot about that whole achievement.
It's
such a massive achievement.
It's a year this week. Next week. It's a year next week.
And you've not, and you haven't been running out, have you?
I've quit. I've gained 2.5 stone since then, and I've completely and utterly quit. That's what I wanted to say about Luton. Dunstable, Essential Embroidery. When I walked in, they don't see me very often. It's been 2 years since they last saw me. I was probably just starting training when the last time I went.
Yeah.
And there is a group of Bangladeshi Asian men and my mum. They're the only people in the world that will greet me with, "Hey up you're looking fat." Okay. Oh, right. With a smile on their face.
I bet we're related to my grandma.
My mum does it to me every time. And all the guys on the embroidery have been with George for more than 20 years, and I worked with them for a couple of years. They're like, "Hey, Tony, hey, how are you?" "Ooh, you are looking fat." What is that?
Nice, put some timber on, haven't they?
Not even subtle. It's just straight out, "You are fat." "Yes, thank you. It's nice to see you too." Yeah.
Well, fat now.
That's exactly it. Exactly. Oh, great. Thanks. Cheers. Super. Feel great.
Well, at least you know where you stand with them.
I know where you stand. Yeah.
Bless them.
My only comeback is yes, because I've got lots of money, and they go, "Oh, okay."
Oh. You bought a new motor?
No, still without a car.
How do you feel? I mean, you've only been home a few days, so that's a shitty question to ask, isn't it, really? But...
First day today when I thought, I'll just nip to the shop. I thought,
oh, you couldn't do it?
Oh, I haven't got a car.
So I'm guessing you're just renting to do your trips?
Yeah. So I'll be working in south of Manchester, North Wales sort of area, Chester, all next week. A new place, that's a big good one, all week.
Right.
That'd be a nice, good place. I've had to hire a car for that.
A new shop is a new business, or like you've just not been before?
Oh, it's a complicated one. It used to be the largest turnover company I've ever worked with.
Love it, Nick.
And they split their direct print department away. Whether they deemed it wasn't working or profitable or efficient or just didn't fit their needs anymore, I don't know, but they decided to... The really summarised version, proper summarised version. 2 guys working on a hand carousel in a place the size of yours.
Right.
The biggest player on the internet turns up and says, come and work with us, we'll buy you anything you need. Right. The closest I can get to them is Amazon. So imagine Jeff Bezos knocking on your door and saying, Danny, I've seen what you do on Flipping Sweet, on Chippy Tea podcast. I've got you a 15,000 square foot unit. We're going to buy you an MHM 5000 and a Tasoma dryer. Come and print for us. And so they did. That then moved into a 1 million square foot building just north of Manchester Airport and turned into a huge direct print department with everything from printing everything from Quality Street lids to T-shirts, all online. I would say it's the UK version of Amazon. You've probably never heard of them because they work quietly behind the scenes. But
yeah, I'm trying to rattle my head to see if I can come up with an idea, but no.
So they then set up that department. That got absolutely huge. I mean, huge. Right. And then slowly but surely, they went away from that. So I can only presume the business didn't go in that direction. It went in another. And so that department got shaved off, started again under another name. And that name now, the same people got me in to try and train the guys again. I know it was very vague, but I'm purposefully not using names.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to be careful.
I'm purposely not using names. But that's the long and short of it is they've gone from really small to really big, and then back to being medium-sized.
What?
So we'll see how
we had to run before we could walk, do you think?
No, it's no fault of their own. It was the larger company that they were in just didn't want to pursue that direction.
That's
There's still money in it. They're still good at it. It's just that, if you make 150 million a year from selling widgets that you screw on top of toothpaste, why the hell would you spend any money printing T-shirts? It's not what you do anymore.
Yeah, it's cutthroat. It's like
shave it off and move it somewhere else.
Yeah, if the numbers don't match on a spreadsheet, that's it. You're done. There's no consideration for anything other than numbers, which I guess
bean counters. We love them. Time and motion, man.
Time and motion, man. Oh yeah, that little creepy AI picture that you generated, I guess. Isn't it crazy? Yeah. Someone was offered to buy Flipping Sweet,
Yeah.
I told him I'm not interested, thank you.
Yeah, but it's like me. I get offers to buy my company. I say, okay, what happens to it when I leave?
Do you? Yeah, but you are the company. What good's your company?
Yeah, but they don't know. They don't know that. It's one of them Nigerian princelet emails. You know what I mean? You just hold this 500 million for me, I'll give you it back. Okay. I get emails saying we'd like to buy Palm Print Consultants Limited. Oh, get your wallet out, because I tell you what, for 2 pints and a Greggs, you can have it.
A couple of bath bombs. Right, Tony lad, my old mucker, my old pal.
Bath bomb. How weird is it in England? In everywhere else in the world, they throw petrol bombs. In England, we throw strawberry-scented bath bombs that we stole from Lush.
Oh, you shut me up, mate. Oh, we're on another planet, aren't we? There's something not right. There's something not right. Where's gone chuffing by me?
My American friends are ringing me up and saying, "Are you safe? Tell me you're safe."
Of course we're safe. Totally safe.
They're getting. I get travel alerts to say, "Don't go to Jordan, don't go to Israel, don't go to some parts of South America." They're all getting travel alerts saying our government says, "Don't go to America, don't go to all." No, stay away from Preston.
I've got inside knowledge that they're going to get some decent punishments.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Like they're not just going to get a slap on the wrist, which is what
Well,
you sort of.
Most of them have been done.
Well, the cynic in you would think, "Oh, they'll get away with it. Won't they? They'll get a few months. They'll get a slap on the wrist." But apparently, no, they're actually going to get some jail time. Apparently,
they already are. They already are. They're putting them away. Which I've got a relative that works in the Crown Prosecution Service who says that right now, if you want to take a case to court, the first court date available is 2026. Such is the demand on the system.
Yeah.
And yet, if you post, "Oh, I don't like them over there," on Facebook, you go to jail immediately. You skip that 2.5 year court wait. Anyway, we said we won't go down this road.
We won't get political. We won't get political.
No, we won't go down.
We nearly went there, but we won't.
We nearly know. We'll drag it back.
We'll drag it back. Well, look, I think we should keep this episode short and sweet because one, I need a piss, and two, Ailey's waiting for me. But I think we can make up for that and compensate by giving you a couple more. Try to give you a few more episodes, short and sweet, rather than a drawn out big episode every month or so. Minute.
Yeah.
So we've got a few. We've got a couple. I've got a couple in the works, which will come out in quick succession.
Yeah.
We've got some interesting. I've got an interesting project that I'm underway with. That's not an episode, but it will be a video feature, which I'm going to need your help with actually soon, Tony, because I'm going to.
Which I totally forgot about. I apologise, but yeah.
No, well, I've not given you a script yet, but it's coming. Don't worry. Got an actual script. How professional are we? I'm going to give you a script, and then I want you to record with voiceovers.
Can you get AI in a Yorkshire accent?
Well, there's a new bit of software now that'll listen to a voice and imitate it. In fact, Riverside's got it, and I tried it. Like half a sentence, it's like, "Oh my god, it's me," and then it sort of goes downhill a little bit. It's not quite there, but it's still quite freaky.
Quite scary, yeah.
I tell you what's quite cool as well. This is something I've been doing. If you go on YouTube, you can find AI generated songs. So you can, for example, find Elvis singing Britney Spears, whatever. And some of them are actually really good. Like Johnny Cash doing, I don't know, Take That. Yeah, silly stuff like that. People are doing it, and some of them are really good. So that's something to look up.
Have a play.
Short and sweet.
Right, so without further ado, we'll wind that episode up. As always, if you like what you see and hear, then go seek medical attention. There's something wrong with you. You shouldn't be allowed into normal society. But before you do get locked up in the loony bin, then then hit the like button, hit the follow button, hit subscribe, and tell all your friends about us before you fly over the cuckoo's nest. And I
bloody love that film. My favourite film, that.
It's a classic, isn't it? It's a proper classic. Yeah. So, like, follow, subscribe, drop a comment, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, everything else. And, yeah, keep it going, because we love doing this, so we don't want to keep you involved with it. If you've got any ideas of what you want to hear about, if you want to be on the show, drop us an email, a DM, or a comment. But in the meantime, you have been listening to me, Tony Palmer from Palm Print, and
Danny D from Sweet Print Co.
All that remains to be said is, I'll sit
there.
Or you can give me posh, no, she don't agree with me. I don't want lobster thermidor with raspberry Kool-Aid. It's Friday night, I'm within me rights. I want a Chippy Tea.